In climbing, when you try a problem for a certain amount of time, it becomes your project of some sort. And every climber has a project that will have a greater meaning to themselves that no one else would really get except them. Now, this problem isn't a V15 or a V16 that you'll see some of the pro climbers send, but it is the hardest thing that I've ever tried and ever did. This is the process behind the first ascent of Almanac V11. This whole journey started due to COVID.
On Thursday, the City of Montreal ordered the closure of all sports and cultural centers after the provincial government said all events of 250 people or more must be cancelled.
With all the gyms closing down, my brother and I had to find a place to train and climb so we wouldn't lose our strength. So, we resorted to the park, which was right in our backyard. After climbing some classics like Fer Forgé and establishing new routes such as Blacksmith and Le Gaston à Toivo, I was looking for something harder to climb. I was looking for a challenge. That's when I remembered the mega project. It was just this long problem traversing the seam of the rock that seemed so painful for the fingers. But like any real climber would do, I started working it. I started by dividing the climb into two sections. First, you would have the stand start, and then you would have the sit start. The stand starts in the crux, so it was easy for me to work it. It only took me a few sessions to link the crux, but then this happened.
Come on. Ready? Come on.
Oh, no. Oh,
I injured my shoulder and I couldn't climb for a few weeks. But when I came back, I was ready to work on the sit. Almanac starts on two really good holds, then it traverses left into a good juggy crack before the first hard moves. From there, you cross right hand into a slopey crimp, you bring your left hand into an okay crimp, and then cross under to a really bad crimp, where the crux moves start. Then, you go left hand into an intermediate, and then bump into a good crimp before bringing back your right hand into a finger lock. After a few setup moves, you're ready for the end part. With your left hand on the slope and your right hand in the crack, you go left hand to a good crimp, switch feet, and then bump left hand again to the finishing jug before topping out. After working the moves for a few sessions, I was ready to give attempts from the start. With the first few attempts falling at the crux, I got this really good attempt, where I get past the crack, get to the crux, stick the crux, but then I dabbed on the mat. I still finished the ascent, but it wasn't a clean one, so I didn't count it as my first ascent. I wasn't too happy with that result, so I came back the next week and sent it for real.
Il faisait genre froid de même hier.
Ouais, genre, wow, avec stick.
Allez. Allez. Nice rep. Come on. Allez. Yeah, Raf. Finish it. Come on. Yeah, Raf. Yeah, Raf. Come on. Come on, respire, allez. Come on, Raf. Yes. Nice, Raph. Come on. Come on, Raph. Yes, Raph. Come on. Yes. Come on, breathe. Yes, Raph. Yes. Yeah, Raph. Yes. Let's go. Let's go.
The first ascent of Almanac was on June 14th, with a process of over 2 months to get there. In retrospect, I couldn't have done this climb without the help of my brother, who was there every session I climbed on the problem and didn't complain about the time it took me to do it. And fun fact, the attempt where I dabbed was the only time that he didn't come with me. So I guess it just wasn't meant to be that day. Finally, these 2 months of grinding, pain, and bleeding on this project were the best 2 months I've ever had in my climbing career. And I hope that this video inspired you guys to climb your projects, whatever the grade, because they're yours, not anyone else's.